Ex-service people make great hires. Veterans come with a range of skills, abilities and attributes that make them excellent employees. I'm Simon Marnie, your host for this engaging audio series featuring 4 ex-service people who share their stories, from leaving the Defence Force to successful employment outside of the ADF. They are Khalil Fegan, Angela Green, Tom Nguyen and Bill Skandilakis.
I'm Khalil Fegan. I'm the Repatriation Commissioner, and as the Repatriation Commissioner, I'm responsible for assisting with the governance of veteran-related legislation. When I finished school, I did leave home and moved up north to Newcastle. I was trying to put myself through university initially, so I was working in clubs and pubs. You're dealing with lots of people, so you get this really good education. I'd applied for admission to the Royal Military College Duntroon. When I announced to the particular pub I was working for at the time, they said, "Listen, don't do that. We'll give you a trainee managership, and you can be managing your own pub one day." But I'm very pleased with the decision and path I took. When I graduated from the Royal Military College Duntroon, I was posted as a young infantry platoon commander. Then I went off and became an instructor for a time. I had that wonderful job of helping develop young Australian soldiers. I went back to an infantry battalion, which included a deployment, my first operational deployment into East Timor. In my last role, I had the privilege of commanding the 3rd Brigade in Townsville. I reflect back on my time at the Royal Military College and reflect particularly on the foundation that it gave me. And it was a tremendous foundation and understanding and appreciation for a lot of the bases of leadership, the bases of command, the bases of management.
I'm Thomas Nguyen. I'm the only child of Vietnamese refugees. My parents grew up with a war on their doorstep. My father's father was in the South Vietnamese army. And after the war, my dad's family needed to leave the country. So my dad's family and my mum in tow basically bought a boat and got out of there. I'm a management consultant. I've been one for a bit over 11 years, and I was in the army prior to that. I was looking for a challenge. I started as a reservist, and then I eventually moved into a period of full-time service. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It was challenging physically, mentally, even socially. I'd never dug a hole before. Barely knew how to sweep a floor. I was competent at the things I was competent at, but hugely incompetent at basic things in life. And army forced me to learn some of those things. I think the reason why those things resonated for me was I was doing them with the right people. And even after the initial training period ended, it would continue to be challenging. So it was a job that was continually pushing me beyond my limits. The skills that I gained in the ADF were mostly soft skills. So a level of confidence, a level of resilience, and an ability to interact with big personalities, big egos, very senior people, which has put me in good stead in my career.
My name's Bill Skandilakis. I joined the Defence Forces back in 1988. My primary role was aircraft mechanic. I passed the HSC, got into engineering, aeronautical engineering. However, because of the economic situation at home, couldn't really afford to go to uni. So I'll join the Defence Force. So I ended up applying to the Defence Force, and it was 2 roles. Number one was to join as a pilot. And unfortunately, I didn't make that because of my eyesight. So I didn't have 20/20 vision. And the other one was aircraft mechanic, engine fitter. So I got in. Most of the skills that I gained was obviously around maintenance of aircraft. However, the other skills that I picked up was around computers, which is what I'm doing now full time since I left. You do things in a way that's quality, and you can deliver things on time and on budget.
My name's Angela Green, and I work in risk management at Westpac Banking, and I was in the Royal Australian Air Force for nearly 8 years. I talked my father into taking me into the recruitment centre because I was only 17, and so I had to have a parent with me to consent. And I remember driving back home, and we were trying to figure out the right way to tell my mother. But then she realised it was a great opportunity for me. So I was in a communications role. I was lucky enough to go and learn Bahasa, Indonesia. I learnt all of that in the Air Force. And, I spent time over in Indonesia and just doing a lot of translating, which I absolutely loved. The Royal Australian Air Force gave me many different skills when I was serving, including resilience, confidence, leadership, and most importantly, problem solving.
This program has been funded by the Australian Government's Veteran Employment Program. To find out more, go to veteransemployment.gov.au.